start to fine tune it. You keep fine tuning it even after you've moved on to your body paragraphs. You go back in and you look and see, does my thesis statement still match up with what I'm trying to argue, and what I ultimately have evidence for. So perhaps what you started out with isn't what you end up with, and that's fine too. It's not a contract. It's just you keep building it, molding it, changing it, to make it the best that it can be throughout the writing process. So it should be prominently featured in your introductory paragraphs. It is the one place in my own writing where I will use first person, where I will just say, I argue, or I posit, or it's another one, I contend. Something that's really powerful that gets the audience in the mindset that you're making an argument and not just telling them what you feel, what you think, or what you believe. It's like, I contend this, and that means I'm going to give you evidence. I argue this, and that's what means I'm going to give you evidence. So that should be basically the last sentence of your introductory paragraph. That's where the thesis statement should go. You should also be able to anticipate counter arguments. So could someone actually argue against what you just said in that thesis statement? If there is no counter argument, or someone couldn't really have a conversation with you about it, then you likely have a fact or an opinion standing in for a thesis statement, and you need to revise. Okay. A thesis statement is never a question. The research question is a tool to get you to the thesis statement, but the research question itself is not a thesis statement. It's not until you convert it and make it a statement. So it's not a question. Your audience, think of them as coming to you for answers, not for questions. They want you to answer the questions. So the rhetorical question doesn't really belong in an academic essay, in my class at least. Now, other English professors may have a different idea about or a different stance on the rhetorical question and whether and want you to use it in different ways, but I want you to stay away from it. If you find yourself using a rhetorical question, just answer the question and take the question out, right? So your thesis statement shouldn't be vague, it shouldn't be combative, and it shouldn't be confrontational. So you can't say that communism in Europe collapsed because communism is evil, because evil is not something that you can really define in a rational and academically dispassionate way, right? Especially if we're not in a philosophy class, which we're not, or in a theology class, which we're not. So for other subjects, you can't just say something's evil and that's right, and that's why, right? Or something's good or bad, or something general like that that has 1,000 different definitions and is so vague as to be not useful. Okay. There's actually an interesting video that I'll probably post to our Canvas page about the problems with good and bad, or evil, or just words like that that mean so many things and so many different things to different people. Like, I could talk to you about how I think that white chocolate is evil because it's not real chocolate, but you know. But again, that is my definition of evil, and it doesn't necessarily meet your definition of evil. Okay, so a thesis is always making a definable and arguable claim, something that you could actually have a conversation about. And it should be as clear and specific as possible. So when you are like working on your thesis statement, there are a couple of things that you can ask to make sure that you've actually done what you needed to do. Sorry, I'm pulling up some more notes. Okay, so do I answer my research question? That's the first thing to test it out. Have I taken a position that someone could have a reasonable challenge or reasonable argument against? Is my statement specific enough? And is there any significance to this thesis statement? So if someone said, so what, does my thesis statement actually answer that? Okay. And then that last check is once you've read all of your body paragraphs, go back and read that thesis statement and then determine whether or not you actually argued what you think you did or what your thesis statement promised that you would. Okay, so for more information about this, read in the Academic Writer, Chapter 6. Okay, there's a lot of really good information in that chapter about constructing thesis statements and constructing claims for the rest of the essay. So I encourage you to read that. I will probably prompt you about possible journal entries that you can pull from that chapter and also give you some examples from maybe some of the exercises that are in the for exploration or for discussion section later in the week. But look through that chapter for more examples of thesis statements. Please also look at the other videos that I have posted of me kind of going through the introductory portion of writing your, of getting your topic together and getting a working thesis statement together. Let me know if you have any questions. I will be on Zoom during our class time on Tuesdays, so you can always log in to that meeting and chat with me about anything that you have questions, comments, or concerns about. Okay, so again, I'm available on several different methods: FaceTime, Zoom, Duo, WhatsApp, you name it, I can get on it and talk to you kind of virtually face to face. All right, I hope you all are staying safe, staying healthy, and staying inside. And have a good day. Bye.